Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I played in my first tournament in 21 months this weekend. I did pretty well. I had 3 wins and 2 draws. I played pretty good chess. My students did amazingly well. Shout out to all of them: Sam, Mark, Sudeep, Joshua, Henry. Great job to all of you. Special congratulations to Sam, who tied for first place and won several $100s. I tied for fourth, which is not bad, out of 54 people. And we will, in the next couple of videos, we'll go through some of the games and we will learn things. So in the first round, I played someone rated about 1400. Nice young man. I started d4. He played d5. I played what is called the London, bishop f4. He played knight f6, which is the most flexible move. I continue to go for the London, and he plays bishop f5. So the point of bishop f5, if white ever tries to checkmate on the king side, it's much harder to do it because now the bishop helps to protect. The downside, the bishop doesn't cover this square. I played knight f3, logical move. He played knight d7, and I challenged the center with c4. And the point is now also my queen has access to this square. He played c6. I played queen b3. Queen b3 is a good move, attacking this pawn. And he played probably not the most accurate move. He plays queen b6, which allows me to play c5, attacking the queen. The problem is the queen needs to take, otherwise this pawn will die. So takes, takes, and now white has an open line, and white's plan is to play b4, b5. He should probably play knight h5 to try to get rid of my bishop, because this is a very good bishop. And if he doesn't do it, probably on the next move, I'll play pawn h3 and keep my bishop alive on this diagonal. But he plays knight e4, which is a very active move, but not the best, because now my bishop is fine. I should probably start to push right away, but I play knight c3 first, which is not the end of the world. And he played knight f6, which looks reasonable. And again, I should probably push right away, but I decide to trade first. He played the most logical move. He took back, and I pushed. And the problem for black is there is a pin here, which means if he plays a6, I can play there anyway. Having said that, maybe this is not so bad. Because what he did is just a little bit too slow. Because he played the move pawn e6, and now I play b5. And if he takes, I take. My bishops are really good. He can't castle. But what he did is probably even worse, because he played bishop e7, and this allows me to take and bring in my bishop. And the point is my bishop goes here, this pawn will fall, this pawn will fall. Again, notice the power of this bishop. That's why it was a good idea to get rid of it at some point. But he plays extremely passively. Castle is, I can't suggest a good move, but castle is not amazing. And now bishop b7, attacking this, attacking this. There is pressure on this pawn. He saves his rook. Rook a8. This pawn falls. He tries g5, but this essentially is one move chess. I save the bishop with tempo. If the rook goes here, it gets attacked again and it dies, so it has to go to e8. Now this pawn falls, rook c8, and now I simply castle to bring in the other rook, and eventually this pawn will run. It's very hard to stop that pawn. It's been protected throughout its path. He played g4, which doesn't really help. It just improves my knight. And again, very hard to come up with a plan. King h8 to rook a1. The rook activates. f6. Okay, my knight goes to d7 with tempo. And then I just push the pawn. And here he resigned. So the logic here, important important lesson, is in these positions you don't really, well, you don't really want to get into something like this in the first place if you're black. If you're white, one of the main plans is to push b5. And if you're black, it's a good idea to get rid of this bishop and vice versa. If you're white, sometimes you need to spend a move on pawn h3, just in case if knight h5 happens, in which case the bishop can go to h2. In this game, it didn't happen, and this was just very, very effective already. If I turn the computer on, computer says white is plus 1.8 at depth 15. Now it's going to go even higher. And yeah, the best move here is a6. The logical move to get the bishop in is much worse. I'm almost plus 3 already. And this is positionally crushing. This was a nice London miniature, a nice way to get into playing chess again. I hope you learned from this video. Please like, please subscribe, and I will be back soon. Thank you.